Today we explore a thought-provoking question. Are you truly free, or are you simply caught in a cycle of dependency? At first glance, this question might seem straightforward, but its implications run deep. We live in a world that loudly champions the ideas of freedom to make choices, to express ourselves, and to engage in casual connections. With dating apps and late-night messages, we're offered an escape from commitment and routine, promising a limitless realm of exploration. It sounds like a dream, a paradise of liberation. But is it genuinely as fulfilling as it appears? Or are we just being manipulated? Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, and we are live on all your favorite platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can also listen to our episodes on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. Just as a catalyst initiates a reaction, we trust that this podcast will inspire a steady resolve within you to pursue meaningful change in your life. Want to be a part of our Catalyst community? We would love to hear from you. Reach out to us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. That's catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. If you're interested in being a guest or a contributor, welcome to episode 92. The high cost of the hookup culture. Okay, so let's explore the concept of the hookup culture without judgment or preaching, but with an eye on the cost. I mean, everything has its price. Fancy cars, late night snacks, couch time with Netflix. The hookup culture is no different. Beyond the cost of subscriptions is a deeper toll on mental health, emotional well-being, and self-worth. Plus our ability to form genuine connections. Now, I'm sure we've all experienced the allure of the quick connection and the ego boost from a match. These apps, akin to digital slot machines, are engineered to keep us engaged. They're addictive, providing momentary validation followed by an inevitable crash. This cycle leaves us feeling empty and disconnected. Humans crave deep, meaningful connection, not superficial interactions. Living on quick interactions is like surviving on snacks, temporary energy without lasting nourishment. The hookup culture promises connection, but often delivers the opposite, trapping us in superficiality and eroding our inner strength. Now, before dismissing dating apps entirely, recognize that life is complex and choices are personal. However, make informed choices with your eyes wide open. If you're swiping for validation or avoiding deeper connections, you're paying a high price. You deserve real connections and real relationships that uplift you rather than deplete you. Let's take a look at some of the real cost of the hookup culture. All right, grab a pen, a paper, sticky note, your smartphone, whatever. Here we go. First one is emotional cost. Emotional cost. The emotional roller coaster of matching and chatting and ghosting can be exhausting, chipping away at resilience and trust. Vulnerability is often avoided, seen as a weakness, but it's the gateway to true intimacy. How about the mental cost? The mental cost, decision fatigue from constant swiping and the anxiety of uncertainty can be mentally taxing. Superficial interactions can warp our perception of reality, undervaluing depth and substance. Okay, what about the spiritual cost? The spiritual cost. Consistently engaging in superficial hookups erodes self-respect and disconnects us from purpose. Intimacy is devalued, turning into a transaction rather than a sacred connection. Yes, a transaction. How about the social cost? The social cost of the hookup culture can weaken friendships and erode trust in relationships. It warps expectations, making it difficult to form genuine, lasting connections. Finally, the practical cost. The practical cost, like the time, the energy, the financial cost of the hookup culture, are significant, diverting resources for more meaningful pursuits, something that you really love and you really enjoy. So you're probably asking, how can we take the steps to reclaim our freedom? How can we do it? We can do it with awareness. Awareness is the first step to true freedom. Understanding the game and your motivations. All right. Here are some practical exercises you can do to understand it. Ready? Here we go. Let's start off with the why am I swiping check-in. I want you to pause and reflect on your reasons for using the dating apps, addressing the underlying needs directly. Why are you doing it? What's your reason? What's the end game? Okay. Second one, the surface versus, let me start over with that. Okay. The surface versus, I'm going to give it one more shot. All right. The surface versus the substance filter. Okay. The surface versus the substance filter. Look beyond the superficial interactions and seek genuine connections. We know about filters. Everyone knows about filters. Why do you want to start something off with a lie? With a lie. I can't tell you how many of these dates I've gone on where you see their pictures and then you see them in real life, IRL or ILR or whatever, and they're not that person. Your hair's not that color. Your body isn't that shape. Your face doesn't look that way, right? We always hear about the opposite side, it happens on both sides, but it really happens a lot with a lot of females. I can say if there was 10 dates I went on, 9 of them didn't look like their pictures. Not at all. So let's talk about and let's focus on substance rather than the superficial stuff. Let's get back to reality. Let's get back to honesty and truthfulness. All right, I've gotten off track with them. Let's get back on here. The next one, the vulnerability challenge. I know this one is going to be a real scary one because we have a lot of wounds from it. But practice vulnerability by sharing something real in your interactions. Be honest and be truthful. Sometimes it's scary to do that. And sometimes we're fearful of letting people know who the real us is or who we really are because we're afraid of what they might think. Why does that matter? Why do we care what they think? The only person we should care about how they think about us is us when we really come down to it. But we're always worried about everybody else. Think about that person inside of you. How do they feel? How do they think? That's who you really need to focus on. Okay, we got 2 more. Next one is meaningful connection inventory. Okay? Meaningful connection inventory. Assess and prioritize meaningful relationships over superficial encounters. And finally, the digital detox connection boost. The digital detox connection boost. Schedule regular breaks from digital interactions and engage in the real world. Be a part of the real world. You'll really like it. You'll enjoy it. The human connection is so very important to us. And we're slowly starting to isolate ourselves and avoiding that interaction. We really need to embrace it. We really do, because you deserve connections that enrich your life. Just to be intentional and authentic. Build a life based on substance and genuine intimacy. Take these exercises and implement them and see how they transform your relationships and self-awareness. And please, stay strong, stay grounded, and choose to be unshakable. Right? Choose to be unshakable. Come on and join the conversation and share your experiences. And let's support each other in pursuing a life of meaningful connections. All right? Are you ready to become unshakable? Are you ready to become unshakable? Let us know how you're doing. Okay? And don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast for more motivational content like this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And while you're there, leave us a review and help spread the word. We're also active on social media, so you can find us there for even more inspiration. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. So thank you so much for joining us here on the Catalyst Motivation Podcast, The High Cost of the Hookup Culture, episode 92. 8 away from 100. How awesome is that? We'll see you next time. Go be great.